Welcome then to Horizon Racing League Season 7, Round 5 highlights Zandvoort, where we get a double feature, a sprint reverse and a 35% race. 2 races around the Dutch Grand Prix circuit, but before we get into that, let's take a look at where we stand in the build-up to this one. Pompano took his second victory of the season at the Brazilian Grand Prix. He joins a club of 1 in terms of drivers taking more than 1 race victory so far. And he took that victory by 1.2 seconds ahead of defending champion I'm Your Mate, who hunted him down to the end. Tommy took 3rd. Scottish got driver of the day. Storm got fastest lap. Scottish also took cleanest driver. Vampire, Bowser, Dabosaurus, Bunny's Vengeance, Rover, Cybersleen and Vibs all took points. Myself and Godrado did not. And that means that Six Pompano leads the way, still ahead of I'm Your Mate, with Vampire in 3rd, just 5 ahead of Tommy Ash. Bunny's Vengeance is in 5th place, having a really strong start to the season, while the Scottish, the other Platinum class driver, down in 8th place. We have 15th, only ahead of Sign, Alfie, Mr. Tacklebecker and Ian Sykes-Snipes. Six Pompano leads the way in Platinum class as well, with I'm Your Mate in 2nd, but he is only 8 points clear of Vampire, who is only 9 clear of Tommy Ash. The Scottish is just behind all of them, but with a good result could be right back in the fight. In gold, Bunny's Vengeance still leads the way, but Bowser is closing the gap now, just 13 behind. He's 9 clear of Storm Point, who is hunting him down now as well, with Joker and Syme falling off the back just a little bit. In silver, Dabosaurus is closing on 100 points and looking comfortable in the silver class, with Godrado in 2nd, just ahead of Vibs. Celine leads bronze by 29 points ahead of Rover, who jumped us. We are 9 points back from the Scotsman, but 41 clear of Mr. Sacklebecker, who's yet to be able to take part in a race. And it's still a 0-0 draw in D class. Neither Andy nor Sykes-Snipes have driven this season, and Alfie's 1 result was done under AI control, so no points were claimed there. In the Constructors, Red Bull lead the way, fairly comfortably ahead of Mercedes, we're just 2 clear of McLaren. Sauber and Ferrari are level on points, with a little gap back to RB, Aston Martin and ourselves, Williams, all in a fairly close fight for 6th. Haas could get in with a good result, while Alpine are way off the back at the moment, the reservists with 8 points. And that's where we stand, heading into Holland. This Dutch Grand Prix is going to be a 25% sprint in reverse, followed by a 35% race. Let's take a look at how this track is backwards. Circuit Zandvoort then in Holland, home of the Dutch Grand Prix in the last few seasons. Jim Clark holds the most Dutch Grand Prix victories with 4. We've only run this circuit once back in season 1, and the Scottish was the one that took the victory. The reverse layout, so we head down the straight after exiting Tarzan towards Arie Ludenijk, the banked corner. Following it to the left, you've got to follow the camber. Car is going to try and twitch and get away from you as you brake into Kumo, turn number 2, and then it's into Hans Erst, this little chicane. A lot easier going in the reverse direction, a bit more open, a bit wider. You can take a fair bit of speed through there towards what is box 10, normally turn 10, and then back into this heavy braking zone to the right. And then you go into box 9, which again normally is turn number 9. Gotta wait to get on the throttle here before you head out towards Master Box, which is normally turn number 8. Then it's a quick straight through Skivlak, and then it's Slot Maker up and over this fantastic little section that's like a roller coaster before Hunsrug, and then it's into Hugenholtz, the banked, normally turn 3. Follow it to the right, use the camber to get the car turned in through before you go through Gerlach, and then it's out towards Tarzan, the final corner on the reverse layout of the circuit before you gun it back down the straight, back towards Ari Ludendijk. So that's Zandvoort in reverse. Quite a challenging circuit, going the wrong direction. Lots of places where you can get it wrong and find yourself picking up penalties. But let's take a look at the grid. Storm Point took pole ahead of Tommy Ash with the Scottish in third. Then it's Vampire, Godrado, Baza, Six Pompano down in 7th place ahead of Bunny's Vengeance. We take 9th, just ahead of I'm Your Mate, the home hero. And the final row of our grid for today is brought up by Dabasaurus and Cybersleeve, who got a grid penalty to drop him down to P12. So, a backwards sprint to start proceedings. Let's take a look at what happened. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, and 5. And away we go at the reverse Zandvoort sprint, and it's a good start. Bunny took it steady. I'm Your Mate didn't. He was already through before we got across the line. Baza on the inside. I'm Your Mate there as well. We're off into the dust and the gravel. And we're round and we're last. That's a terrible, terrible start. It looked like we were going to have a nice little battle there for a minute. Warned us for the collision. I don't know. But we're back with Dabasaurus and Bunny. So that's at least something. We're not all on our own at the back. 6 is having a bad time in 9th. Let's get top 8 point scorers. We've got VSC. Cybersleeve was off.
Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta.
It's gained us a position, vital for our bronze class championship as well. Pompano's in too. Albasaurus and Bunny's Vengeance almost come to a stop on the start-finish straight. Bad first lap for 6. We got caught on that curb. It is a bit of a lethal one. Going in the other direction can just catapult you off into the wall. Dabasaurus has got to drive through. As we are back to racing speeds. Everybody all together once again. Oh, we get on the grass. Gets a little bit slidey. We save it. And now I think we're just going to be in a bit of no man's land back here. Until we're caught by the guys behind. Yellow flag's out. As we head in, I'd rather take the stop now, I think, and go onto the hard tyres. Yellow flag's out again. It's the Scottish that's off.
Right, let's go. Come on. Perfect job.
Dabasaurus and 6 go past us.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race.
Well ahead of Cybersleeve now, which again for our bronze class championship is vital. The Scottish though not moving at the moment.
Caution, caution.
He's having a bit of a problem. Scottish is off the road again as we get caught on a curb. So back into the top 10.
Remember to play around with ERS modes in your MFD if you need to.
Scottish now with a 10-second time penalty. I don't know what's happened to the Scottish, but he's had a really bad time of it this lap. Saurus, of course, still needs to pit in, running the softs. I think we're going to have a fair few cars who will need to pit in. Whether we're going to catch any of them or not, I don't know. So we've got a yellow flag. It's 6 Pompano now.
Just focus on the driving.
Somebody getting caught on that curb. Ferrari Ludendijk, which does happen. 6 is round. And we jump ahead of the championship leader. We're down to 11. 6 is out. And the Scottish retires as well. So the Scottish and 6 are going to be on the front row for the correct direction race.
Yellow flag.
We've got a yellow flag. I think that's just for the Scottish, because his car seems to still be moving, although Vampire's in the pits as well. Hasn't left. He's only just leaving the pits now. Means we're in the top 8. A yellow flag up ahead is Dabasaurus. He's round. We'll move past the RB.
Okay, clear.
Up into 7th, mostly through other people's misfortunes, but still. Vampire really now turning up the work. I think I'm going to be able to hold the Mercedes behind, but might be able to hang on for P8, which is a point. Got another yellow flag, eh? I'm not sure who for this time as we get that all wrong. It's Vampire who's gone off. Kind of saving us a little bit. I'd assume getting caught on that curb through Ari Ludendijk, and we did on lap 1. I feel like I should be able to hold this gap as long as I don't make any mistakes. And Bunny and Godrado really going at it hammer and tongs by the looks of it. Another yellow flag out. That's Dabasaurus, I think, off the circuit. Not overexerting ourselves at the moment either, just trying to make it comfortably to the end here.
0.5 seconds.
It'll be a points finish, one which I will take with great aplomb after the dismal showing in Brazil and the 2 DNFs at Monaco and Saudi. Monaco could have been a good result as well. I think that's the most galling thing about it. We were driving pretty well, actually, keeping pace with much faster guys, being able to make moves and keep pace. We threw it away ourselves by doing the thing that many of us have done in the modern F1 games, and that's ripping a wheel off at the Nouvelle Chicane. Mentioned that a few times last week and still haven't quite got over it yet. As we head on to our final lap, there's a yellow flag out. I think that might be Cyber Celine, one of the Sabres, yeah.
Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap.
Tommy is still holding on to the lead by the looks of it on the mini-map. As they round Tarzan for the last time. It looks like Tommy's going to take the victory, unless he's got time penalties. No, Tommy does take the win. That's his second victory of this season as well. He also had 2 DNFs. At Saudi Arabia and Monaco. But he's come back strong. He took the victory in Britain. He takes the sprint victory here in Holland. Bunny and Dabasaurus come into a halt across the line as they normally do. But Will Rain Tarzan was a fairly lonely P7, but it's points. Back in the points as we let it cruise across the line. fairly lonely race in the end, but one that brought us back into the points. But Tommy Ash took his second victory of the season to bring him level with Six Pompano in number of victories. Good start to the sprint reverse weekend. Took that victory by just half a second from Storm Point with what turned out to be a fantastic move around the outside. Amy Mate took driver of the day and third place ahead of Bazza. Cleanest driver was Bunny in fifth. Godorado was sixth. There we are in seventh, comfortably ahead of Cybersleep and Vampire. Davasaurus is the only one of the other finishers, while Six Pompano and Scottish did not finish. Means the lead is cut at the top, but Six still leads the way. Tommy jumps Vampire into third, while Storm jumps Bunny into fifth place. Bazza remains just ahead of the Scottish, while further back we are now just 4 points behind Rover, but still only ahead of Syme in terms of point scorers. A no score in Platinum means that Six Pompano's lead is cut to just 21 points. Vampire remains ahead of Tommy, but only by 7, while the Scottish closes up to the back of the Kick Saber driver. His Vengeance still leads the way in gold, while Bazza now is just 12 points behind. He is just 8 clear of Storm Point, while Joker and Syme didn't partake in this round. Davasaurus is the first driver to break 100 points in his class, leading now Godorado by 26 points, and the first driver in triple digits. Cyberceline still leads the way in bronze now by 36 points. We are now though just 1 point behind Rover going into the 35% correct direction race. Still nil in D class, no drivers competing in the Dutch round, so that won't change after even the main race is complete. In the Constructors, Red Bull continue to lead the way, but their lead is slashed to 23. Now Kick Saber in second, a point ahead of McLaren. Mercedes and Ferrari are level in fourth. Aston Martin between RB and Ferrari, while we are now just 1 point behind the Faenza outfit. Haas remain 9th, Alpine 10th, and the reservists 11th. And then it was immediately into Zandvoort in the correct direction with a reverse grid to boot. Let's take a look at what Zandvoort looks like going the right way. Circuit Zandvoort in Holland, then the Circuit by the Sea, home to the boisterous Orange Army. Only been run once in Horizon with the Scottish taking victory, but Jim Clark holds the record for the most Dutch Grand Prix victories with 4. Real roller coaster of a circuit, this one. Tight, twisty, narrow, but very quick still as you head down the start-finish straight towards Tarzan. Heavy braking, fire it to the right, just keep waiting to get on the throttle before heading down towards Gerlach and then Hugenholtz, the banked turn 3. Take many lines through there. You can keep it tight if you want to, or you can swing it around the outside to get a slingshot through Hussenrug, and then it's through turn 5 up and over the crest of the hill into Slotmaker, and then Schivlach into turn number 7. There's a short straight down towards Masterbach as you get through turn 8, and then it's into Bocht 9, turn number 9, before you get onto a DRS zone through Bocht 10, and then down towards Hans Erst, the chicane at the end here. You can really attempt an overtake, but it's always going to be tricky. It's a tight little chicane to run through before you swing out of that little hairpin through down towards Kumo, and then it's onto the banking for Arie Ludenijk. You get the DRS nice and early, and you can try and effect a pass down towards Tarzan once again. So that's Zandvoort, but let's take a look at the grid order, reversed based on results from the reverse sprint earlier in the day. That means that the Scottish is on pole, ahead of 6 Pompano, with Dabosaurus in 3rd, Vampire 4th still, even after the first race. Cyberceline is 5th, we start 6th, probably our highest grid spot of all time in this league, ahead of Godrado, Bunny's Vengeance, Bazza, and I'm Your Mate retains 10th, even after the reverse round, while Storm is 11th. Tommy Ash starts from 12th, right at the back of the grid. 35% distance, but some quick drivers near the back. Let's see what happened at Zandvoort. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5. It's a fairly long hold, but away we go in Holland. That's a good start. Don't want to go too hard into Tarzan, and we managed to get through it. Dabosaurus just in front of us, and we're past Dabosaurus. We're a little wide. We're into P4. Godrado and Dabosaurus behind us. I am feeling already in very much danger. That's fine. That's a decent start. We've survived the carnage into Tarzan. We've got 6 Scottish and Vampire ahead of us, so it's platinum, 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 bronze. As I think Storm's gone off, and there's a Sauber back there as well. Not sure which one it is, but we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna stay in 4th for very long. But let's enjoy it while it's lasting, shall we? 25 laps of this race, and we are getting to the end of the first one. We're 2 clear of Dabosaurus because Godrado and Dabosaurus both on the hards. Could be a strategy that pays off for them later on in the race. We are P4 at the end of the first lap. I will absolutely take that. As Tommy moves into 6th. He's already passed Dabosaurus. I'm Your Mate's there as well. They're fighting behind. They've got Godrado in front of them, so I will be in danger very, very soon. Maybe should have gone medium, or maybe even hard tyres at the start, but we'll run with what we've got for now. This is not ever going to be my true position, unless everybody was to kind of drop out. I don't want to give up a place too easily though, but I fear it's only going to be a matter of time. The Ferrari taking chunks out of us quickly. Same with the Sauber behind them. Cue Jaws music, because there they are. I'm Your Mate already within a second. He's taken a second out in that lap alone. Stupidly quick driver. Again, I don't particularly want to give the place up easily. So we'll go defensive into turn 1. Oh, he's round. 6 has gone off, or has made a mistake, I don't know. Baz is in the pits. So we retain 4th for now. As Tommy has a look to the inside, we're taking a line there. Again, I don't really want to give up a place too easily. I also know this isn't really my fight. As Tommy looks to the inside. Block pass there, but that's fine. But again, we kind of survive. Godrado's on us now, as is Bunny's Vengeance. Don't know what's happened to 6. Whether he's got damage again, I don't know. But there's a little queue of cars, which also includes Storm as well, so I feel like we're going to be slipping down the order. Storm and Bunny, probably quicker than me. Bunny's looking, he's looking, trying to leave him the space. It's a tough part of the circuit to make an overtake, but he's looking. Him and Storm come to blows a little bit. We ran a touch wide there.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
He's run to lap 11, and yet that front left is already screaming. Storm right there. Quadrado kind of skipping about all over the shop. Storm is through. I'd assume Bunny's going to go the same way as well. Try and hang it around the outside through one. Doesn't really work. Cyber Celine, the man behind us. Then it's 6. Into P8. It's kind of about where you'd expect us to be, I guess. And we've got Bazza, Cyber Celine, Davasaurus and 6 behind us. Shame, because we've been running clean laps all the way through, and again I lose the screen.
Damage to your front wing, damage to your front wing. Suggest we box to change it.
And this time we hit the wall.
Okay, I've got a brand new race strategy on your MFD if you want to go and check it out. Copy.
We run wide with half front wing. That's really going to cost us. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but I need to be quicker on hitting the pause and letting the AI take over, but we've cost ourselves a massive amount of time. Cost ourselves even more in the pits. Making sure we're completely pit speed limit. 6 will go past us. Bazza should as well. Dabasaurus might, because we've got the wing change to do. That's where the Cyber Celine does or not. Cyber Celine might.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Pit
We head into
complete.
Tarzan.
See these tyres through to the end now.
Just about to get out ahead of Cyber Celine. He's on the mediums to the end. Dabasaurus still yet to come in, so we'll at least jump back ahead of Dabasaurus. Whether Bazza and 6 are going to need to pit in again, I don't know. It's also going to depend on if our screen decides to turn off. Again. 6 gets the 3-second time penalty for track limits. This is kind of how I felt like we were driving in Monaco, like feeling fairly confident in what we were doing as Dabasaurus peels off into the pits, so we'll move into P10. Get a few more points on the board. Bazza is in. Even if we do get past our fellow Williams driver, I don't know if we'll stay there for long. Might be better off just letting him through. But we will head into Tarzan in P9.
So your ERS is running a bit low.
Bazza now on the soft tyres as well.
For a more conservative burn rate, or you might want to try some lifting or gentle braking to recharge.
Does he fall behind Dabasaurus? He does not. 8 seconds behind us. I'd assume Bazza's going to catch us quickly. Don't think we're going to be able to hold him off to the end of this race. It would be nice to nick a P9, but I think that's a little out of the question. And I do honestly believe we're going to fall a lap down. Now, the hope is going to be that when Baza catches me up, it's somewhere on the circuit that it's going to be easy to move out the way. A little wide there, because I don't think there's any point in trying to stay in front of him. Because our points go down to 12th, if my maths are correct, which I believe they are, we took P7 in the first race, which is 2 points. Takes us up to 7 total overall, and we'll take 3 points here, which will take us up to 10. So it will at least be in double figures by the end of this race. As I know, right with us. Let's try and do this sensibly. We're going to run wide into the corner. There we go. Baza goes through. A bit of Williams team play there. We run wide to let the leader through, so we are going to finish a lap down. That's still not too bad. We are best part of 15 seconds clear of Dabasaurus, so P10 should be ours as long as we don't throw it off the road. We get DRS off the leader as well, that's helpful. Helpful for no real reason, we are far enough off that it's not going to matter. So we start our final lap in behind I'm Your Mate, who is leading the way. Looks like the Scottish has fallen behind Storm and Tommy, if I'm reading the mini-map correctly. So whether there's going to be an incident to review after this, I don't know. But P7 in the sprint, P10 in the feature, that's not bad going, I guess. Back in the points. I'm Your Mate rounds the final corner. It'll be his first victory of the season. We'll cross the line behind him in P10 and 2 races without any time penalties. Which is good for us, I guess. 2 points finishes out of 2 in Holland then. Let's take a look at the results. I'm Your Mate takes his first victory of the season. Impressive that it's taken this long when you consider his dominance. Previously, he joined Storm, Six Pompano and Tommy Ash in the winner's circle this season. He took that victory by 14 and a bit seconds ahead of Tommy Ash, who was driving the day. The Scottish complete the podium ahead of Storm and Vampire. Bunny's Vengeance was once again the cleanest driver, while Six Pompano could only manage 7th after a bad race at Holland. Colorado was 8th, Baza finished ahead of us in 9th. We took P10 ahead of Dabasaurus and Cybus the lead. Six Pompano now has his lead slashed again to just 2 points. There's 20 points then between I'm Your Mate and Tommy. Vampire is 4th, Storm moves into 5th and stays there, while the Scottish moves up to 7th. Colorado moves back into the top 10, while we are now just 1 point behind Rover and in double figures. The Platinum class lead is also slashed to just 6 points between 6 and I'm Your Mate. Vampire remains ahead of Tommy by a single point, while the Scottish now is just about to break the 50-point mark. Bunny's Vengeance is the second driver to break 100 points in his class, leading as he does now ahead of Storm Point, who's taking second place by just 2 points ahead of Baza. Taurus is now 19 points clear of Godrado, looking really comfortable in the silver class this season. Vibs didn't partake in Holland, so is falling quite a distance off the back. We reclaim second place, but we are 30 points behind Cyber Celine, but 24 clear of Rover in bronze. So at least that means we can try and start a bit of a comeback to the Kick Saber driver. Of course, no changes in D class. We are 0-all across the board. Hopefully one of those three will return this season and pick up some points. In the Constructors, Red Bull still lead the way, but they're now only 7 clear of Ferrari, who are 3 clear of Sauber. Then a 7-point gap back to Mercedes, while McLaren aren't far behind. Aston Martin a little ways off the papaya outfit. Williams move up to 7th, 4 ahead of RB, while Haas close in on the back. And that was Holland, both races in one. Got a week off before we head into the final stint of the season, starting with Mexico. Hopefully you'll join me for that one. Like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Thank you so much for watching this one. Take care of yourselves, and see you after the season break.